You're listening to a Fox Sports New Jersey Sports Short.
You're listening to a Fox Sports New Jersey Sports Short. I'm Michael Cohen. Well, this week on Fox Sports On the Road, we had the pleasure to sit down with Lindsay Berra and director Sean Mullin about the documentary It Ain't Over, which chronicles the life and career of the legendary Yogi Berra. What an enjoyable interview it was, and it was a pleasure to sit down with the two of them. The documentary is about 98 minutes long, and it is a documentary that is going to be very emotional, and I think has a chance to win some major awards over the next year. It is an intimate and revealing portrait of a largely misunderstood American icon. This emotional and engaging documentary about Yogi Berra takes us beyond caricatures and yogiisms and into the heart of a sports legend whose unparalleled accomplishments on the baseball diamond were often overshadowed by his off-field persona. I asked Sean Mullin what the project meant to him.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm drawn to projects where there's some sort of tension between perception and reality. And when it came to Yogi, I jumped right at that opportunity because there might be no greater disparity between perception than in reality with anyone, on the level of Yogi Berra. So I jumped at it. You know, Yogi was somebody who was really difficult to put into a box. And I felt like I had that a lot of my life as well. I was kind of always the comedy guy in high school, hosting, doing stand-up and sketch comedy. And I end up at West Point, right? And so it doesn't really not really known for its comedy, curriculum. And then, I'm out in the Army and I'm down at Ground Zero. I was a first responder at Ground Zero, but I was doing stand-up comedy at night there, and that didn't quite fit into most people's perception. Then I go to Columbia, and I'm a veteran, and nobody at Columbia really heard of the military. So, everywhere I fit in, everywhere I've gone, I've never really fit in. And so I think Yogi had a lot of that as well. And then just the connection, in the film as well of him, being a veteran, being at D-Day was a big deal for me. I wanted to make a meal out of that. When you have 90 minutes to compress someone's incredible 90-year life into, that container, you have to pick and choose, and I really decided to elaborate that.
I then asked Lindsay how she and her siblings looked up to their grandfather. Was he a Captain America-like figure?
I think it's fair to say that I look at Yogi Berra as that. I don't know that I look at my grandpa Yogi as that. And even as a 45-year-old person who knows full well that those are the same people, Grandpa Yogi and Yogi Berra, in my head, when I think of Grandpa Yogi, he's the guy that I made meatballs with, at Christmas and Thanksgiving and decorated the tree with, and he burned all the hot dogs at our family barbecues, and we watched the Seinfeld reruns, and I grew up watching fights with him, and he was taking me to hockey games. He was just a grandpa for me. So it's hard for me to think of Grandpa Yogi as the Captain America type, but when I talk about his stats and what he did on the baseball field, and, like you said, some catching things that players today couldn't even dream of doing, catching 117 doubleheaders, 18 innings, 117 times. I physical challenge anyone in baseball to do that once and walk down the stairs the next day. Only 12 strikeouts in all of 1950. Those are Captain America stats.
Remember, you can listen to the entire interview on FoxSportsRadioNewJersey.com under the podcast page for Fox Sports On the Road. As for the documentary, It Ain't Over, it is a Sony Pictures Classic release presented by Vanishing Angle and Off Media. It will be making its debut world premiere in New York and Los Angeles on May the 12th and is expected to have an extended nationwide release. Good luck to everyone involved and anyone who has not seen it and is looking forward to see it or hasn't heard of it. We encourage you to go out there and check out the documentary. Again, it's called It Ain't Over. It chronicles the life of the legendary Yogi Berra. It is a fantastic documentary, and I guarantee you, your family, you're going to love it. We want to thank you all for tuning in and listening here on Fox Sports On the Road and, of course, Fox Sports New Jersey. This was your Fox Sports New Jersey Sports Short. I'm Michael Cohen, and we'll talk to you next time.